So I have started the recording. This is Design 301. It's the lecture. We're going to check out over here, and I'm going to take a look at this really quick. And you'll notice that if I don't have sign-ups an hour ahead of time, I cross those out. So you'll be able to ask questions during the lab period, but other people won't be able to come in and ask questions. So I basically do that an hour ahead of time as we go on. So let's take a look and see what we've got going today. This is Design 301. It is being recorded right now. This is the lecture portion. It's Tuesday, December 8th, and it is the penultimate day of class. There's one more day of class, which is Thursday, and then it's finals week, and there are no classes in finals week. If you have all of your work turned in, you don't need to do anymore. You don't need to be in class. You don't need to look at things. I will be going through things as they're turned in and pretty much trying to grade them as they drop in. So let's see what's coming up. We've got on the 10th, okay, your completed portfolio is due for Design 301. It's due at 11:59 p.m. on Thursday. Oh, I need to put the link to the page. Silly me for not getting that in there. There it is right there. Let me get that link put on here. Don't know. I usually do that. I mean, you would have been able to find it, obviously, because it's in Canvas, but I like to have it on here. So that's your first due date that's coming up. Remember that this is a required submittal, even though you've done all the other ones, and you do go down one letter grade if you do not make this submittal. So please get those turned in. If you have any problems, just email me or hop on to one of our appointments, or turn in something, even if they're all turned in separately. And then the final exam, here's your reminder that it's due no later than Thursday, December 17th at 11:59 p.m. And here is the one that shows that it's due right here on the calendar. And you see, there it is right there. Okay, and I've actually had one person have their portfolio turned in and their final exam turned in, maybe even more by now. And so that's cool. You can finish this up whenever you want. And here are the requirements for it. Okay, and that's another one of the ones that you do have to turn in something for that, or you go down a letter grade. So be sure to get those two things turned in. If you get them done early, that will be great. And you can then just comfortably go and do all your other courses and then be ready for a great holiday break. And hopefully we'll see you back in the spring. So let's take a look and see. That's your due dates. Oops, that's the wrong day. Here we are over here. Let's take a look at your submittal requirements. Use the approved template for your cover page, student learning. So you're supposed to use these 3 pages to start with. 1, 2, 3. And, try to remember to put your name on them and put this information up here, put some images of your work in here, and then just tell me section 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the description. This would be like section 1. Maybe you've got 4 pages, and it'll say workplace setup. And section 2, maybe you've got 3 pages, and that's drawing and editing, and so on and so forth as you go. Okay, then if you have additional ones to put in, I've kind of shown this before, but I like to do it again. So here you go. Here, I'll put this one in. Verify that it's me. Yeah, it's me. That is me. There it is. So let's say I want to put a couple of pages in here. Okay, I'm going to take those 3 pages, page 2, page 5, and page 6. Oh, I'm not sharing right now? I thought... No, I'm sharing. Is anybody else having a hard time seeing? I show that I'm presenting right now. Okay. So Eric, I don't know what's going on. Try logging out and logging back in, and I am recording this if you need to. It'll be recorded. But thank you for letting us know that that there's a problem going on there. But for right now, I'll show you. I'm going to take number 2, number 5, and number 8. Right click, copy, and I'll go put it into my portfolio template down below. Right click, paste, and there they are. What do you know? I've got those portions of that other one in there, and I can take, I'm going to undo that now, and I'm going to go back, and I'm going to take the whole thing. If I want the whole thing, I click on the top, I go down to the bottom, and I hold the shift button down and click my mouse, and it selects everything in between those 2. Right click, copy, go over to my new one, and paste. And there they all are, and I'm going to undo that because I do not need these certificates in there. And then the last thing is sometimes I want to put them in between some things. Let's see if I can figure out how to do that. Right click, copy, paste. Then it went in between those 2. So it pastes it right after the one that you've got highlighted. And I'll delete that one now. Okay, so that's how you go about doing that. Eric, is it showing up now okay for you? Is it doing better? Good. Okay. Always number 1 item, reboot. Right? That's sort of our first thing that we give a try. So that worked out. I'm glad that worked for you. Okay. So that's how you put them all together into one. And then, of course, what you would do is you would file, you would print, and you would print it as a PDF. Then you have a link and a PDF. And so your link to your original work, that's the folder that has all of your work in it as you go along. Okay, and that's really for you. I'm not going back to look at your original work. That's for you so that you can find this stuff and you can revise it, update it, pull copies of it when you use segments of this for a future portfolio. Okay? So that's why that's there. So that's your trips. Let me come over here. I want to get my list of tricks and tips. I see that I did not prepare this as well as I could have. There we go. So I've got a couple of things in here that if you're interested, you can go look at it. This is a pretty cool little video that was made by one of our professional students. He does this professionally. And it's kind of cool. And I don't think you can hear it. But that's about how to combine PDFs. And what we do in this one is we work you through Windows, Chrome, Chrome, Firefox, and a Mac, so that you have a variety of tools, and they're all free web online tools that you can use anywhere. Same for splitting a PDF. Here's how to combine Google Slides. It's what I just went over. I've got one for DWF Viewer, but I don't think you need that one. And of course, you already know how to snip and paste images into your work. So those are a few items that can help you get that portfolio done. And then the final thing that I want to go over today, it should be fairly straightforward, is to go over the final exam for you. And I've got the final exam right here. It's called Skill Demo number 2. It is demonstrated skill. I would like you to do a screen record while you do it. It's not going to kill you if you don't, but I would like it if you can watch the tutorial and figure out how to do it. Practice it as many times as you like, but then when you're done, submit it. So maybe, and I'd like it to be an hour or less. I think the one that did get turned in was 14 minutes. So didn't take that person very long to get it done. Just really whapped it out. And so just take a look at that. But if you do it and it takes you 4 hours because something went wrong, you can just erase that one and do it again and turn in one that you like better. If you're just really not able to do it, just let me know. Just contact me. That's okay. And remember, there's a set of demonstrations that you can choose to do. So let's see what those are. Okay, and so you can go right to here, and here's a link to the submittal page. So remember, there's 3 different, choose any one of these demonstrations. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's sort of one for each industry choice that you might have chosen, so that you can work in one that you're happy with and that you feel comfortable with. I do want you to use AutoCAD if at all possible. If you use something else, that's okay, but I'd like it to be AutoCAD. There's 3 things to submit. A PDF of your drawings. So if you do this one, you'll do your plot and you'll submit a PDF. Along with that, you'll submit your AutoCAD file and a copy of your screen recording. Okay? So this exam is open book, open notes, open computer, open your brain, but yours only. Okay, so if you need to go back and look at your notes or look at your portfolio or look at one of the videos that you've got access to, you can do that, but you may not use anybody else's actual work, okay, in any way. And look, you're demonstrating your own skill level, not somebody else's. So what you do must clearly demonstrate your skill level. So accessing unauthorized assistant violates academic auditing standards, and it will be considered a false certification. I actually very rarely does this ever happen. Very, very rarely. So just be clear. Now, look, the person who did turn the stuff in was having a heck of a time finding where the video stored itself on his computer, and he needed help. That's okay. It's because that's not what this class is about. Okay? If you're having tech issues or something like that, I'm not going to clobber you if you get some help from somebody. But if it's help about the coursework material, that's a problem. Really, you're only supposed to ask me for help. You can use Canvas, Google, YouTube to look up information that's pertinent. So that's the ground rules. So ground rules of what to do on your final exam, which, remember, it's not due until a week from Thursday, but you can do it early if you want. So you're supposed to make this drawing right here, and you can do it either by looking at these dimensions and drawing it, top view, front view, or right view, or if you now feel like you have some capabilities in solid modeling, you can do that. And if you get going and the model doesn't work right and you're missing a radius or something like that, or the hole won't go in exactly where you want, like maybe you got your hole just right and it was at 1.0, I don't care. I just want to see a good part that looks pretty much like this. And if it's missing a radius or something, don't worry about it. Okay? So there you go. You'll make something that looks like this. You'll put on a title block that's somewhat similar, and there you go. This one is a trace. Import this drawing. Cut and paste. Import the drawing. Copy and paste it in. Do your tracing. This one is mostly rectangles with a couple of annotations on it and a little bit of a hatch. Any appropriate title block. I don't care what title block you use. If you do want to get this properly to scale, this distance right here from center of this joist to center of this joist is 24. So I don't know what that dimension actually ends up being, but it's the center to the center or the end to the end. This one, I know a number of people did some really, really nice work in creating floor plans and putting in blocks and things like this. And so this might be something that one of you wants to do. You can trace this, put your blocks in. As a reference, I believe that this distance here from corner to corner is about 8 feet. And if you do so, if you have pre-made blocks for some of these things, they'll go right in. And look, it says add as much detail as time allows. If you can't find a stove or a sink and it's taking you a while, don't worry about it. Just make a little rectangle and that will be fine. That'll be fine. Okay, this one is just straight, just draw this thing. This is probably the fastest one there is to do. If you've got some of these, just draw up, over, down, connect, add a little bit of text in paper space, and add a little north arrow and a scale, and you've nailed it. This one isn't too bad also. It's just a whole bunch of rectangles. And, get close. Get close. I think these shelves are 3/4 of an inch thick. So by the time you get all these in here, it might come off just a little bit. But this is your floater dimension right here. Right? So you can make all of these exact, and then a floater dimension right there. But this one might be a little bit of an issue right in here. Okay? But just get something close. Make a bunch of rectangles and draw it. And then this one, you do not need color. It can just be black and white. Place your circles over it. Place a couple of things that look sort of like bushes, some things that look sort of like cars, and get rid of this and put a couple of annotations in, and you'll have it. And so then again, make a PDF of it on a title block. Give me your AutoCAD drawing and your recording. So there we go. So that's sort of it. I think, Oleg, I think I looked at your portfolio. Can I show it? Is it okay with you if I go ahead and show it? Because it's nice looking. So then it's nice with everybody else. I mean, this gets a very nice grade. You'll get full credit. So, and so people can see. And so here's a link that sends me to, there's the original of it. That's really cool. To his original one. And here's the PDF. And I'm going to squeeze this down. There we go. A little bit. And he's got everything's all in there, right? What section, how many pages, what it is, and what it is that he drew in each one. This is very nice work. So the first 3 pages got done. Oleg decided to put a nice cover page in between, and that's why I wanted to show this. So there's a cover page that sort of breaks things up a little bit that says, okay, do this now. And then you can see that this is all workplace setup. Got his name in each one, how many hours it took, a link to the original one that he made. So that's really cool. This is really nice work. So, and hopefully it all looks pretty much like what you're used to because you've all done these. I've seen you all do these, but what I wanted to show was that he had a kind of a nice break in between each one, a cover page in between each one. And that actually has all those nice draw edit commands. The annotation commands look very nice. And then the output and plotting, there they all are. So this is something that you can quickly and easily look at. So look, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the basics of it. Very nice looking. And then each one so that you can see them in a little bit more detail. And there's all this, those surveyors units, man. They're kind of wild, but they're cool. And then more work on each one. Very well rounded. Got some floor planning in too. So nice work. Just all around good work. So thank you for sharing that and letting us share it. Oleg, how long did it take you to put those all together? It wasn't very long, was it? Yeah. Okay. Because obviously, I mean, if it's obviously these were already done, right? And so it's just a matter of kind of like organizing them and making sure that, you've counted all your pages. And this one probably took you the most time, right? Making a cool looking front page that sort of shows the whole scope. This is really nicely done. Shows a little bit of architectural, a little bit of mechanical, a little bit of just the basic tools of the trade. Very nice job. So thank you for letting us look that one over. So there we go. Does anybody have any questions at this point? Oh, and Janice, can I show your submittal to show what your final blocks looked like? Because I thought that was really cool. So let me go back and see if I can find. I know you're in here somewhere. There we go. So I actually gave Janice a whole bunch of extra points because this is way beyond these dynamic blocks are way beyond what we look at. So these were really cool. These are stretchable blocks, and these all did you get them to stretch in two directions? You got that bottom to be solid, and then you were able to stretch in both directions. That is so cool. That's really advanced. So I wanted to show that. What Janice did there, we used to call design 405, advanced CAD. And look, I mean, you guys, and granted, they've made life a little easier. When we had to do this back when it was design 405, we were typing in 15 commands to do each one of these things. But these are just cool, right? These are all the different cabinet blocks that are available. And so now Janice has a really nice library started, and she can go ahead and continue building her library. And that's actually one of the things that employers look for. Do you have a library of your own that shows that you know how to work with a library? And so those were the DWGs right there that went along with it. So that was also just super nice work. I really enjoyed seeing that that level of work, and really everybody who's been presenting has been really doing cool stuff. So I was mentioning that this is my favorite part of the semester, not because it's over, but it's because I get to see the coolest stuff, and it really makes me happy to see the skills that you've all developed in your own fashion. So there we go. That's the end of class. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.